Okay, so I've got coffee home at $23.47, coffee work at $31.82, and coffee emotional emergency at. Wait, did I create a separate category for.
You have 6 coffee categories.
They serve different purposes, This is precision.
You've spent 40 minutes tracking coffee and you still can't find the $4.12 error from 2 weeks ago.
I know it's here. It's haunting me.
Here's the problem.
What are you. That's 3 months of work.
Exactly. 3 months of tracking. And in those 3 months, how much did you actually save?
Less than the month before I started.
That's the budgeting paradox. The more meticulously we track every dollar, the less we often end up saving because our mental energy is consumed by the process rather than the progress.
So I've been performing budgeting instead of actually building wealth?
Yes, and you're not alone. If you hate budgeting, it's not a character flaw. It's a design flaw in the system.
Are those literal buckets?
For now, today we're replacing micromanagement with macro constraints. We're moving from performing wealth to actually building it.
She deleted my spreadsheet.
You'll thank me later.
Kyle and my witty and wise, financially unsupervised.
Before we talk about how the system works, we need to talk about why traditional budgeting doesn't.
Yeah, I've tried multiple times. Always crashes by month 2.
That's not a you problem. That's a cognitive load problem. The human brain has a finite reservoir of executive function.
Like a phone battery?
Exactly. Traditional budgeting drains that battery by forcing you to categorize hundreds of micro decisions every week. Should this coffee be dining out or groceries? Is Netflix a need or a want? What about the emergency Target run?
The Target run is always an emergency.
And every one of those decisions creates decision fatigue. Your brain gets exhausted making tiny financial choices, which means you have less energy for the decisions that actually matter, like negotiating rent, refinancing a car loan, or planning a career move.
Okay, so tracking everything makes me worse at managing anything?
Correct. And there's another problem, present bias. Your brain views your future self as a stranger. Saving money today feels like giving it away to someone you don't know. That's why traditional budgeting feels like punishment, because your brain is literally treating it as a loss.
So every time I try to save, my brain thinks I'm being robbed by me?
Essentially, yes.
That explains so much.
And the third barrier, scarcity mindset. When you're constantly tracking every transaction, your brain stays in a state of financial alert. You're always thinking about money, which ironically makes you worse at managing it. The bucket system fixes all 3 problems. It eliminates micro-decisions, it automates your future contributions so present bias doesn't sabotage you, and it creates flow. You set the guardrails once, then stop obsessing.
So these 3 buckets are basically a psychological escape hatch?
They're a system designed for how humans actually make decisions, not how we wish we made them.
I'm already feeling better about the deleted spreadsheet.
Here's the whole system in one line. 50, 30, 20. 50% musts, essentials. 30% wants, guilt-free lifestyle. 20% future, wealth building.
And we're doing this off take-home pay, right? Not the fantasy number before taxes.
Correct. After tax, because you can't budget with money you never touch.
Okay, 3 buckets. My brain can handle 3 buckets.
That's the point. Most people lose the plot because they're hunting $4.12 instead of the big rocks. For the average household, housing is roughly a third of spending, and transportation is a big chunk too.
So the coffee audit isn't useless, it's just not the lever.
Exactly. If you want fast results, you attack housing, car costs, insurance, and debt interest.
Translation, stop fighting squirrels. Go wrestle the bear.
But what if you live where rent is basically a monthly hostage note?
Then we adapt the ratio without breaking the system. 60, 20, 20. Needs can rise to 60% in a high-cost area, but we protect future at 20%. The thing that shrinks is wants, because future is the engine.
So I don't pause my future, I tighten my fun for a season.
Correct. Temporary discomfort, permanent advantage. Here's why the future bucket matters. Compounding isn't cute, it's violent. Over decades, small percentage differences turn into life differences.
So future isn't savings, it's literally my retirement bodyguard.
Exactly. Future is debt payoff, emergency fund, retirement, and investments, whatever moves you forward.
Okay, I'm starting to see why you protected the 20%.
Every budget I've ever made dies the same way. One surprise hits, and suddenly I'm back to vibes and prayers.
Because you're calling them surprises. Car repairs, holidays, annual fees, medical copays, they're irregular but predictable.
So I'm not unlucky, I'm unprepared.
Exactly. Here's the fix. Total your irregular annual costs and divide by 12. Annual irregular costs divided by 12 equals your monthly contribution.
So if my random stuff totals $2,940 a year, that's $245 a month every month?
Right. You're turning chaos into a line item you can handle.
That's annoyingly simple.
Now we add a bonus bucket, the sinking fund. It's a shield for predictable hits, so you don't have to blow up your wants or steal from your future.
So the system doesn't break every time life does life.
Exactly. The goal isn't perfection, it's durability.
Okay, buckets make sense, but how do I make it real without doing spreadsheets again?
You build a self-driving wallet with 3 accounts. Account A is bills. It receives the musts percentage and auto-pays essentials. Account B is wants, your weekly allowance debit card. Account C is your HYSA for future plus sinking fund.
So I don't have to behave, the accounts force the behavior.
That's the design. Automation is how you beat willpower. Defaults are powerful because they make the right move the easiest move.
So payday hits, and the system quietly does the grown-up stuff first.
Exactly. Pay yourself first automatically.
I like the version of me that does that without thinking. Why weekly for once?
Because monthly wants turns into month start binge spending and month end starvation. So we convert it. Monthly wants divided by 4.3 equals your weekly allowance.
Wait, 4.3 because months aren't 4 weeks.
Correct. This keeps the math honest.
So if my wants is $860 a month, that's about $200 a week.
And when it's gone, it's gone. No guilt, no confusion. Now, your wants bucket still needs guardrails.
Because my wants bucket has feelings.
Impulse spending is driven by dopamine in the anticipation phase before you even buy. So we don't fight the urge, we delay it.
Delay is the cheat code.
Exactly. We use a not now list. Rule is if a want is over your threshold, say $100, put it on the list and wait 30 days.
So I'm not saying never, I'm saying not yet.
Correct. Most urges can't survive time.
This is gonna hurt in a healthy way.
And here's the wild part. The vast majority of impulses fade once the dopamine spike passes.
So I'm not disciplined when I skip it? My brain just calmed down?
Exactly. You're designing around biology.
I feel personally attacked and helped.
One more thing. Not all monthly costs are equal. Interest rate is a silent budget killer. Same car, different APR. 4% might be about $665 a month. 12% can be about $817.
That's roughly $150 a month just for having worse financing.
Exactly. That's why we focus on big levers, APR, housing, transportation, before we micromanage snacks.
My spreadsheet is crying in the trash.
Let's make this actionable. Here's your 24-hour challenge. 1. Pick your ratio, 50-30-20 or 60-20-20 if you're HCOL. 2. Open one new account, wants or future. 3. Automate one transfer next payday, even if it's small.
Small is fine. What matters is the default.
Okay, this feels different. Like I'm not doing budgeting, I'm building a machine.
That's exactly what it is. Stop performing wealth, start building it.
And if you're wondering, yes, my spreadsheet is still in the trash.
Good. Let it go.
If this helped, subscribe, because next we'll be discussing when to use a credit card like a tool,
And when to avoid it entirely.
and I promise not to make 6 coffee categories.
Kyle.
Kyle and my witty and wise